I'm just such a huge fan. And I say it over and over. Mistakes are how we learn. When my child is frustrated and they're like, ah, yes, I know you made a mistake. That's how we learn. So as humans, we're more likely to trust a message if we've heard it repeatedly over and over and over again. And that's why, as a mom of 3 and a psychologist, my secret to not only staying calmer in the moment, but also teaching my kids and setting boundaries is to repeat the same phrases over and over and over again. So I have a few, go-to phrases that I want to let you in on, because if you know it, then I think it's going to make parenting so much easier for you. Now, like I said, it helps me remind myself in the heat of the moment when tensions are high what is most important to me. It reminds my brain to stay calm, to stay centered and focused on what really matters. And it also helps my child because they get used to hearing these phrases from me over and over and over again, so they're more likely to trust what I am saying. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now, the first phrase is let it out. This is like one of my top favorite phrases. Let it out. I like to say this phrase when my child is in the heat of a very intense emotion, like sadness or even anger. Let it out. It reminds my brain that it is okay for them to have this feeling. It is okay for them to express it to me. This is all okay. This is not an emergency. I don't need to control it. I don't need to get them to stop crying. I don't need to do anything but stay regulated, stay grounded, and also allow them a chance to vent and express their feeling to me. It also helps them trust me when I say it, again, because I say it over and over, and it's their cue. Okay, I'm not alone in this feeling. I have a witness. My mommy, my daddy, they're not judging me. They're not trying to control me. It is safe, right? Safety is what cues our child to calm down and regulate their nervous system. If our child feels unsafe, they are more likely to have trouble with coming back down to baseline. So safety is what we want to cue our child to. And when we say phrases like let it out, we're cueing them that this is safe. This is a safe emotion. This is a safe environment. And I am a safe caregiver for you. I am a witness. And actually, it's counterintuitive, but I've found in my experience, it helps my little ones calm down quicker. But like I always say, I try not to put a timetable on emotions, right? Emotions need to be felt in order for our little ones to move on. So this is not my process to control, but I have found that it helps calm them down. But it's more of a phrase for me, okay? It's more, I say it out loud so that they get the benefit of hearing it, but it's more to help my nervous system remember that it is safe. Remember, safety is what brings us back down to baseline. So when we can cultivate a feeling of safety in our mind and also with our child, we are chef's kiss, we're golden, okay? So use that phrase repeatedly and try it and let me know if it works for you guys. Okay, so the second phrase is we will get through this together. We will get through this together. Keyword together. Right? We're using language that says we're a team, right? This is not me versus you. I am on your side. Again, the theme here so far is safety. We create safety when we let our child know we're in this together, okay? We're not against them. We're not upset. And I have hope. I'm going to hold the hope for us during this moment. It's okay. I got you, boo. I got you. You don't need to have the hope because I got it. We are going to get it through this together. Okay. This also reminds my brain that the most important thing in this moment is to stay as connected as possible and to be the leader in the situation. So when I can say we will get through this together, I am saying I have hope, I have confidence in us, and we are a team. Right? We work as a team. This is us against the issue, and we got this. So teamwork is one of the core values of our family system. Teamwork is a theme that we come back to over and over again, especially in the heat of the moment, especially during conflict, right? It's really easy to work as a team when everybody is happy, cool, calm, collected, things are going smoothly, there's no bumps in the road. Yeah, that's easy, right? That's easy to be on each other's side. It's much harder and it's more important to stay connected and as a team during the hard moments. So this, again, it cues my brain. It also cues my child's brain. We're in this together. So it lets my child know in a very concrete way that I, as their parent, I'm not against them. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not threatened or intimidated by conflict, right? I still have the hope and the confidence that we will get through this together. Okay, phrase number 3, that is my go-to, okay, during intense, difficult moments is, I'll help you. I'll help you. Yeah. We got this. I'll help you. This phrase is perfect in the moment when your child is distracted, they're dawdling, they're otherwise not super cooperative, or they're just not going in the direction we want them to go. I'm thinking, routines, right? We're trying to get them out the door. We're trying to get them ready for bed, etc. I'll help you. I'll help you. Now, what's most important about this is that we're coming in with an energy that is grounded. This is an energy type thing where we are confident, but we're not flustered or upset or aggressive, right? We're grounded, we're the leader, and we know exactly what needs to happen next. So we're gonna come alongside of our child and we're gonna help them. So this means for little ones, maybe we're guiding their hands, but again, we're grounded. This is not aggressive, okay? This is going to be very confusing for your child if you're saying, I'll help you, I'm on your side, we're gonna get through this together, but your body language, your energy, your tone is aggressive. Okay, that's confusing and that's dysregulating for children when our words don't match up with our energy, right? Because they can sense our energy more than our words. That's what they're going to trust is our energy, our tone. So if we're coming at this as aggressive, I'll help you. It's like, whoa, okay, this doesn't feel safe. I don't know what's happening. I'm a little confused. I'm a little concerned. Okay, so we have to make sure that our words are matching our energy and vice versa. For young kids, again, this might look like gently guiding their hands. Okay, I'll help you. Right? Or let's say you're potty training. I'll help you. I'll help you get to the potty, and you pick them up gently, okay? Calmly. Okay. And maybe they're fussing and squirming around. I know. I'll help you. Now, potty training, we can talk more about that because there's things you don't want to get into the habit of forcing your child to do things they're not ready for. But again, it's just that gentle energy. It's not for every situation, but it helps. Again, it cues our brain that we're the leader here and we're coming to help. We're coming to guide. We're coming in to do this alongside of our child. Because oftentimes, I don't know about you, but I can get into the bad habit of trying to parent across the room, parent from downstairs when my kids are upstairs. I'm trying to parent and communicate when we are too far from each other and it's not effective. So I'll help you gets me involved. It gets me close and it gets me to guiding my child versus, screaming at them from miles away, which is not as effective. So this is really helpful in preventing us from yelling, criticizing, punishing, saying things like, why aren't you doing this? Or what's wrong with you? Or how many times do I have to tell you? Right? Do I have to say it again? Those kind of phrases that don't really move the needle along. It just helps to remember and remind our brain that it's more effective to take action. We don't want to be repeating ourselves over and over and over again. If we find that we are, it's our cue that our child needs something different from us, and oftentimes they need more help and guidance. And so if we come alongside of them, just reminds our brains that we're there to help, not yell or criticize or punish. And then it also tells our child in very direct ways that we are the leader. We're here to guide them. We're going to take the lead. Also, this task is important. It needs to get done right now. And they're not alone in the task. Now, just be sure to reserve this only for time-sensitive tasks. You don't want to be always coming alongside your child and doing this. This is for those moments when it's like, all right, it's time to get out the door. All right, it's time to put our shoes on. All right, let's move this along. Let's start brushing our teeth, that kind of thing. Okay, number 4 go-to phrase, I'm always saying this one, y'all, is mistakes are how we learn. I am such a big fan, and I've talked about this in other episodes, but I am just such a big fan of normalizing quote-unquote failure, quote-unquote mistakes. It's such a good reminder for me as well as the adult that mistakes are how we learn, right? That learning is messy sometimes and it's not going to always go as we plan. And it just helps plant those seeds for my little one of resilience, flexibility, and self-confidence, right? I know that I'm still good enough. I am still sturdy. I am still capable, even if I'm faced with a challenge, even if things don't go the way that I hoped they would go. Like, I have confidence in myself. And so I know that the more I remind them of it, and it's so helpful to use everyday moments, right? Whether they're drawing and it just didn't come out quite the way they hoped it would, or they're working on a puzzle and they're getting stuck in a certain area, or they're learning a new skill like reading or riding a bike and it's just messy. They're falling down, they're struggling, they're confused, whatever it is, like just using those everyday moments, which happen so often, to capitalize on that and remind them what's important. And there's so many great books like The Magical Yet. I think it's called The One Magnificent Thing. I'll go ahead and link some of my favorites, but there's some really good children's books out there that further this conversation in a way where children are engaged and they can relate to the main character. So you definitely want to use books to also, enhance this message. But I'm just such a huge fan. And I say it over and over. Mistakes are how we learn. When my child is frustrated and they're like, yes, I know you made a mistake. That's how we learn. You're about to learn something new. I know it's hard. And, oftentimes they need a break. They need help. They need a snack, but I can also offer them those tangible things while also sending that message to them. Also, use your own mistakes to remind yourself and your child, again, of this message. It really helps a lot when they can see you fumble and struggle with learning something. Bonus points for that. Okay, so phrase number 5 that I'm always saying, is I'm sorry, or you're right. You know what? I didn't think of it like that. But now that I think about it a little bit more carefully, I like the way you're thinking about this. You're right on this. Or the other day, I was talking to my daughter about body boundaries and I was setting consequences. And then I circled back because I was like, you know what? That's not really what I want to do. No, that's not the lesson. I need to guide you through this. And that consequence is not really going to be effective. So now that I think about it, we're going to do it differently. So the essence of this is to either apologize if we've made a mistake. This models taking accountability for our child, which is huge. It also enhances trust. But also when we're able to think of something differently or to take more time, because often in the heat of the moment when we're trying to set a consequence, it's not the best time. But our brain wants to go there because we're trying to problem solve. But often when we sit back and when we're calm and we self-reflect and we think about what's going to be the most effective in the long run, we're often like, I could have did that a little bit differently. So whenever we can take that moment to actually say, you know what? I thought about this a little bit more carefully and this is the new plan, or you're right on that, etc. It's going to model so many things. Again, taking accountability, but also changing our minds and thinking more carefully about the decisions that we make instead of acting impulsively. This is going to show your child that, one, the relationship is really important to you and that you think carefully about it, right? You take your time and you're not afraid to circle back and let them know you've changed your mind and that this is the new, more effective plan. It is just such a great modeling experience on so many different levels. And a huge part of being a confident leader for our kids is being able to take in feedback, right? As leaders, that's one of our biggest qualities and skills, is to be able to take in feedback from those that we have the privilege of leading, aka our children. And when it makes sense, being like, you know what, you're right. I like the way you're thinking about this, and that boosts their confidence. Now they're like, okay, I have good ideas, right? And my parents take me seriously. This is so important, to take in feedback and use it when it makes sense. And phrases like this directly tell our kids they're an important part of the family, that we value their ideas, their contributions, their experiences, their feelings, right? We take it seriously. Also, it tells them in direct ways that it's important to take accountability for our mistakes. And it's important to apologize and mend our relationships whenever we, make mistakes and we screw up, which we are going to inevitably do in all relationships. So might as well teach them that skill so they can transfer that to friendships with their siblings and, other relationships. Also, it directly tells them, you can trust me, right? I am your ally. I am on your side, and our relationship is what matters most to me at the end of the day. Not being right, not winning the argument. No, our relationship, staying connected and working together. That's what really matters to me. Also, it tells them it's better to stay connected versus proving other people wrong. This is a good one. This is a big one. It's better to stay connected. It's better to communicate in healthy ways and change our minds when it makes sense versus being the one that's right? It teaches them a valuable lesson about what conflict is really about. Conflict is about learning about the other person, learning about ourselves, working through an issue or a problem in a constructive way. And so we teach our child exactly how to do that when we take time to say, you know what, I'm sorry. That was not how I wanted to say that. You know what, you're right. You know what? I thought about this and I changed my mind. Teaching them what conflict is really about and how to have healthy relationships with others. So drop in a couple I'm sorries and you're rights whenever it makes sense. Okay. You don't want to be over apologizing. But as parents, I think we can take our control and our power for granted, do too much with it. And we can not be as reflective on the ways in which we impact our children and their experiences in the relationship. Okay. Phrase number 6 that I'm falling back on is, that's a fixable problem. This was actually a phrase that I picked up from one of the moms inside of my private membership, which if you are looking for coaching and community and classes by a girl, check out my membership. It's private, away from social media, and it's such an amazing place to be. If I do say so myself, you can go to themomspsychologist.com/membership to check it out and learn more. But anyways, I got this phrase from one of the moms who was sharing about her child. I think she was sharing a win that she had, and she was talking about how she tells her little one about it being a fixable problem. And I thought, that is just genius. Yes, fixable problems. Yes, it's a problem, but it's fixable. We can work on it. We can problem solve through it. So now I'm always saying that whether they spill their milk, spill something, make a mess, there's a disagreement, they can't find something, they're feeling really frustrated about something, 9 times out of 10 it's a fixable problem. And so that helps just remind my brain to focus on helping my child find the solution versus getting flustered in their emotions. And it also helps them know that it's fixable. We're going to work through this together. And it tells them, I'm not stressed about this mishap. I'm the leader. I'm going to help you. I'm on your side. Okay. So it's a fixable problem, or, that sounds like a fixable problem. Let's think about this. Okay. So in summary, my go-to phrases are let it out. Okay. When there's very intense emotions. Also, we will get through this together. Number 3, I'll help you. Number 4, mistakes are how we learn. Number 5, I'm sorry, or you're right, or I've had some time to think about it and here's what I think. And number 6, that's a fixable problem. If you're tuning in on YouTube, let me know, what is your go-to parenting phrase that makes you feel, like a pro? It helps ground you. It helps you solve problems. It helps you get through the moment. Let us know, okay? We need to continue this thread so that we have more inspiration and go-to phrases, because again, in the heat of the moment, it's important to fall back on what works. It's important to fall back on what helps remind our brains what's most important, which is the relationship that we have with our little ones. And remember, consistency. This is what helps children trust the messages that we are giving them. Also, make sure that what you're saying is aligned with the energy and tone that you're bringing to the situation, or else it's going to be confusing. Okay? So say what you mean and mean what you say. I hope that this episode was helpful. Again, if you're looking for more coaching from me, looking for more classes and more community and support along your parenting journey, be sure to check out my membership. You can go to themomspsychologist.com/membership. The link will be in the description below as well. All right, that is it for this episode. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.